Hey YouTubers, how you doing? This is 762x51 NATO. I have here the DPMS LR-338, which is shoots a 338 Federal, which is basically just a 308 that's been necked up to take a 338 caliber bullet. The paperwork on this shows this 338 Federal gives pretty similar ballistics to the 7mm Remington Magnum, which is a really good round, pretty versatile round. You can use it. I have a 7mm Weatherby bolt action, which I use for deer hunting, but I know ballistically it can handle anything on North America. Elk, moose, pretty much anything you shoot at it, it'll take. Ballistically a little bit better than the 30-06. In fact, shoots a little bit flatter. The 7mm does. Now I can't speak the 338 Federal. I can't say exact. I don't have the ballistic information on that. I'm just going off what they said. They said it is similar ballistically to the 7mm Remington Magnum. So anyway, move on. It comes with this box here. This case has a cleaning kit with a bore snake. Not a big fan of the bore snake, but it's kind of a nice little kit, all in one kit. 4-round magazine, 19-round magazine. Comes with the sling. And let me tell you, if you're going to put a scope on this and any other accessories, and you're going to be lugging it around for a while, I would buy a little bit better sling than this. This is going to dig in your shoulders. I'd get a padded patrol sling or the claw, something along those lines. I really like the Butler Creek sling. That one's very comfortable. That's probably the most comfortable sling I've used, so I'd look at that. Also has the instruction manual, a little video here on the trigger. I'll get into that a little bit later. So yeah, nice little bit of kit it comes with. The outward appearance, it's based off the SR-25 rifle platform. It's a little bit different than the AR-10 platform, but it's basically the large size AR-15. Chamber, typically it's going to be chambered at 308, which is why they use the 338 Federal. So let's take a look here. It's got a 18-inch fluted barrel. Now, I would use the term fluted pretty lightly. There's not a lot of fluting going on. It's like a little 2-inch little grooves cut in there, but that I guess constitutes fluting. Not a lot of fluting. It's 416 stainless steel light contour, 6 grooves, right hand twist, 1x10 twist. Compensator on here I like. It's pretty nice compensator, pretty slick. Not really necessary on a hunting rifle, but looks nice. It's gonna cause a little bit of kick up if you're shooting on the ground or if you're shooting around other people. Let's give him a little bit of muzzle blast, but not too bad. Definitely like the looks of it. The gas block is lightweight. This whole thing here dials in at around 7.9 pounds empty. Overall length is 39.125 inches. It's got an A3 style flat top. Typical right hand ejection. Has a dust cover. I've noticed some of the ARs on the market don't come with dust covers. I definitely like them. I think they were put there for a purpose. I'm glad to see it. Some of them I've also seen don't have a forward assist. Glad this one does. I always use the forward assist. And there's a big controversy out there, forward assist or no forward assist. Let me tell you, in Marine Corps training, I believe Army, Air Force, Navy, I believe everybody trains the same way. When you chamber, when you put a magazine in here, you charge it, first thing you do is you just hit it real quick, make sure it's sitting up there. And I like it for hunting because when you're out hunting and you go to load your rifle, it's pitch black, you're heading to your stand. Not to mention all the safety stuff tells you when you climb up into the tree stand, you're supposed to have an empty magazine. So let's say you're sitting up in your tree stand, it's pitch black, and you go kind of loud, right? So I like to ease it home. When you ease it home, it's not always going to sit perfectly in battery. So you give it a little hit, boom, it's in battery. A lot quieter than just letting the bolt go home on the chamber. So I am a big fan of the forward assist. I don't care what anybody says. It's in the military training. That's what we do. It was there for a reason. And I think like I said, I think it has a big application in hunting when you're trying to be quiet. You can't just let that bolt slam home. So it's there. Use it. All right, the disassembly, as I just showed you, it is empty. So make sure the bolt's home. Pull out the pin. So it's pretty nice, comes out pretty easy. One of my other rifles, these pins they don't come out quite so easy. This one here has a JP Enterprise double stage trigger on it. It's a pretty nice trigger, very nice trigger. I like it. Very crisp, clean. The literature says that the trigger pull on this is between 3 and 3.5 pounds. And it seems like it's pretty light. And just a note, just so everybody's clear on this, when you have an AR disassembled like this, don't pull on the trigger and let the hammer sling home. You could crack this magazine well right here, and I've seen people do it. In my younger days, I've done it before I knew better. So I'm just going to let you know now that's not a good idea. You can crack this magazine well here. So don't let the hammer go home when it's disassembled like this. It's best to keep it on safety. If you have to take it off safety to clean it, ease it forward with your thumb. Then you can get in there real good with a Q-tip or whatever. Buffer tube is same as standard SR25 308. Skeletonized buttstock, which I think is kind of cool. They actually took a mil-spec buttstock and cut this out, and you can see it still actually has the door on it. Door to nothing, I guess, because it doesn't hold anything. So I think it's pretty cool looking. Overall, I think this rifle is really cool. I love the carbon fiber handguard. And these are free floating, by the way. I think it's pretty neat looking. I'm glad my dog decided to get up and shake around and everything now. Bolt assembly is the same as standard AR. It's just a lot bigger because it is the SR25. Much bigger. I'm not going to take it apart. I guess you guys have probably seen it taken apart quite a few times, so I won't fully disassemble it. So that's it, disassembly. And to assemble it, of course, you do the opposite. So some of the technical specs on it. It is a gas-operated rotating bolt, direct impingement. It's not a piston. The bolt is 8620 steel, heat treated, and plated per mil spec. I'm sorry, that's a bolt carrier. The bolt itself is phosphated steel, heat treated. Pretty much everything on here is mil spec. Everything that is military parts. I mean, it's, obviously, military doesn't use carbon, so that's not mil spec. This stock is actually mil spec. They just cut it out. It does have these Hogue grips right here, which are extremely comfortable. I love these grips. Some of the nicest AR grips I've used. Actually, to be honest, the only thing I've ever used before is stock military issue grips. So these Hogue grips here are really sweet. The upper receiver is thick-walled, extruded from 7129-T5 aluminum, hard coat anodized, mil spec, and Teflon coated black. Lower receiver is milled from solid billet 6061 T6 aluminum, hard coat anodized, Teflon coated black, and two-stage trigger, as I said. The trigger guard on here is one piece. It's milled in. It's not separate like on the AR-15. The magazine release is aluminum. Stock is black Zidel. And as I said, it's got a carbon fiber free float tube. It's a nice rifle. If you get a chance, try one out. I definitely think you'll like it. The 338 around here, it's probably a little bit heavy for deer. It's probably fine with some of the bigger bucks that are around here. For the most part, though, I do believe it is more of an elk round. It's a pretty big round. Or I know down south, I've heard of guys using it for hog. Stuff like that. So anyway, give it a try. It's the DPMS LR-338. Semper Fi.